In this short video, I'm going to tell you all about feeds and how you can tailor it to suit your needs. The feeds functionality in Verto can be accessed by clicking on the feeds option at the top of your screen. Feeds is best described as an interactive list containing all of your project responsibilities in Verto. The feeds view is driven by the owners field, also the actionees field or the members field if you're looking at cards. Basically, wherever your name is listed in Verto as a responsible owner or actionee, that information will be pulled into your feed view. Every user has a default feed view, which is automatically created by Verto. In this short video, we'll cover the default feed, what it contains, and then how you can tailor it to suit your more specific needs. So the default feed, which is being displayed on my screen right now, will show all of your responsibilities grouped under the relevant project areas, such as actions, benefits, risks, issues. If there's nothing to show you, that area will have a 0 next to it. In addition to your traditional project areas, you'll also see in this view any cards from your boards, both private and shared boards. You can click on any one of these records to open up the information that sits behind it and, where relevant, make changes. Any changes made to any of the records via the feeds view will be automatically written back to the project that the information is coming from. So first of all, how can you tailor your default feed view? The first way you can tailor it is by changing the background color. The next way you can change it is by deciding which order these project areas are being displayed in. By default, everything will be displayed alphabetically. As you can see here, actions, benefits, cards, dependencies, and so on. To change the sort order, simply click on the Actions button, Sort, then click on the Custom option, and then choose the order that you want. So for example, I would like my cards at the top of my list. So that's what I'm going to do, and then click OK. There we go, cards are now at the top of my default feed. The next thing I can do is I can hide certain areas if I'm not interested in seeing them in my feed. For example, I'm going to click on Actions, Show, and I'm going to untick Savings because I don't want to see any savings information in my feeds. Now, once you've got your basic setup sorted, you can then start to look at each of these areas or themes in a bit more detail and filter again as needed. So for example, we're looking at my cards right now, and we can see if we scan across, there are quite a few cards that have the blue color, which is therefore indicating that that is a completed or closed card. So what we can do is click on the filter option, go to status, and we'll just filter out. So we only want to see red, amber, and green cards. And then we click close. So you saw that changing in the background. So we've now focused our view, and we can see now that the filter has that 3 next to it, so we can see visually that we've got a filter applied on the cards. Another thing we can do is we can group records. So for example, here we're looking at my risks. I've got quite a few risks there, and if you have a look, you can see they are categorized. We've got financial, we've got delivery, we've got resources. So what I can do is use the group functionality. Now, the grouping and the filtering options will be different based on each theme or area you are editing. So what you're seeing in the grouping and filtering will be dependent on the configuration or the build of the project tables in your site. So they may be different to what you're seeing on the screen, but they will be relevant to you. So I'm going to select category and then click close. Now you'll see instantly my risks have been categorized. So I've got my 4 delivery risks. I've then got my 4 financial risks, and then my resourcing area one at the bottom there. Again, any of these, if we click on them, they will open up the information on screen. And from here, we can edit very quickly. We can make changes and then click the OK. And then finally, if we take a look at my tasks and milestones. So with your tasks and milestones, the filtering option, if we click on that, is going to be very familiar to you. It will be the filtering that you can apply on your dashboard widgets and also the filtering that you'll find in the Gantt view. If we add a filter option here, the filtering options available to us again will be based on the build of our configuration. So what I can do here is we'll leave the end date as overdue and we'll add an additional filter for status is not equal to done. So again, you can see here in the background, there's quite a few tasks and milestones there with that done filter, and we just want to filter it out. We don't want to see anything that we've completed. So click on that OK button. And now the task and milestones have reduced. We've got 6 tasks and milestones there, and they are focused. We know that they are the ones that are overdue and they are not completed. So these are the ones that we're going to obviously pay close attention to. So what you've seen in this video so far is the easy ways in which you can take that default feed view and you can filter it and tailor it to match your specific requirements. One last thing I just want to mention on this quick video is that in addition to the default feed, you can create your own personal feeds. So by clicking on this little flyout here, we've got the add button and we can create extra feeds. So what we can do here, I can create a feed that focuses on a particular program. So rather than just having all of my records, I want to just focus on my health and wellness program and all of my responsibilities within that. So I'm going to create the title for my feed. We can add a subtitle and description if we need to. And then we move on to show context. So show context is particularly important if you're going to create a feed that is going to look at multiple projects, such as a program feed. By ticking the show context, this will ensure that on each of the records on your feed, you will have the title of the project at the top of them, so you know where they're from. In addition to that, we can also exclude certain lifecycle stages. Now, depending on your build, you may well have closed and archived stages, which will house the completed projects and programs. So obviously we don't want to see those in our feed. So what we can do is use the excluded stages just to exclude any stages where we don't want data pulling in from. Now, because we're creating a program feed view here, the most important part is, of course, defining what the program is. So what we can do is start to type in the program name. There's our program. We can select that. And because we want this to be a program feed, which means we want to see the children in the hierarchy and not just the top level program, we're going to tick this hierarchy box here. That will ensure that the hierarchy will be included and we'll get every single project underneath the health and wellness program. And because we've clicked on the showing context, we're going to see exactly what project each of these records are pulling through from. Now, the final example we can show is if you want a feed that just focuses on a particular area across your projects, such as you just want to look at just your risks and issues in a feed view. That can be done really easily by going back to the add option, giving your feed a new title, so risks and issues in this example. We want show context again, and of course we want the excluded stages again. But we don't need to type anything into the projects field because we want to see all of our risks and issues. This is going to create a default feed view again. And then to achieve the end product, we just need to go back up to actions, show, then unselect, and then reselect issues and risks. And then finally, because I like to have my risks above my issues, I'll go to actions, sort, and I will just put my risks at the top, followed underneath by my issues. And there we go. We've got our 3 different feeds, the default feed, the health and wellness program feed, and the risks and issues feed. So hopefully you've seen on this quick video how easy it is to both tailor your default feed, but also create additional specific feeds for your requirements. Thanks for watching.